A very warm welcome to the Sengkang Sports Complex, where it is the Hockey Series Open in Singapore. Should be an intriguing game coming up for you very, very shortly. Singapore taking on Indonesia. We've already had the men's competition start, and it's Myanmar that defeated Hong Kong a little bit earlier today. That scoreline was 6-2 in favour of Myanmar. There's another men's game going on at the moment, and Thailand are trailing Chinese Taipei by 1-0. However, we are going to focus on Singapore versus Indonesia. The women have kicked off as well. They've started their rounds and their groups of fixtures. We know that Malaysia defeated Indonesia by 18 goals. I'm doing them a disservice. 18 goals to nil. Thailand beats Hong Kong 4-0. Kazakhstan just defeated Singapore 3-0. So the women's tournament very much up and running and underway. But we turn our attention now to the men. And it should be intriguing to see how this one pans itself out as well. So the flags and the flag bearers have come to the fore. The teams will make their way onto the field of play momentarily. The officials are on, the players are on. And as this is a internationally sanctioned tournament, then we will have both the sides squaring up. We will have national anthems. So we're almost all set for that. So both sides now will adhere to either country's national anthem. So the national anthems adhered to. It's time for the business to start. Singapore get themselves into a huddle. It'll be interesting to see how they fare. Indonesia, not overly renowned or reliant when it comes to hockey, that we do know. But they will be preparing themselves for the Asian Games that they will be hosting next month, end of next month, going into August, where the best sides and the best countries in Asia will go head to head and see who will be crowned champions for that tournament. So looking forward to seeing this Indonesian side and seeing if they have got anything about them, see if they've got enough quality, enough ability. Should be intriguing to find out, that's for sure. Almost all set for the off. We shall get going momentarily, and it will be Singapore that will get us underway in the red strip, hitting from right to left. So there's the whistle. We officially get ourselves underway. So first look at the men today. We'll be able to see how they fare after the women's competition kicked off spectacularly for Malaysia, it has to be said. Straight away into the D, trying to push and force the issue. Singapore lose out though with the hit, so Indonesia can start their ball rolling. Nicely picked off, nicely kept from Milan. And that's good stick work as well. Firdos doing well, plays it forwards, well dispossessed though. Nice little layoff coming there from Safri. Kamaruddin coming away with the ball, tries to force his way into the final quarter. Can't get there, easily picked off though by Firdos. Ideal. And plays his hockey for the Cultural Association in Singapore. Tries to fire that one forwards, but it's just a little bit too heavy. Should be a nice open game, this. The Indonesian women vastly inexperienced. Has to be said the same for the men. But I do know that they have been having training camps to work and get themselves set for this, for the preparations for the Asian Cup and the Asian Games. Every single player today for Indonesia winning their first senior cap. Nice play. Rolled into the middle there. And just acknowledging that was Ramasali. Knows he should have got that one under control. Last year in the SEA Games. It was Singapore that ran out 6-4 winners, so a pretty even contest between these two sides. It's good play and a good save as well. Well pushed away on that occasion. Getting in goal, right up to task. There's the little nick and deflection coming forwards from Silas. Well judged from Dede in goal. Cheaply given away from Firdos, the captain. Thinking about scooping it forwards. Left in not to. Just a little bit too much. Montiel unable to keep that one under control. Scoop forwards, batted down. Both players coming together. It's gone in favour of Singapore, who look to get on with things quickly. Adil doing well. Helps it on. Here's the pacey Dinesh. A little bit of descent shown there, however, well, the official not happy that he's carried on and carried on. I couldn't see whether that was a yellow card or a green card. Now, if that's a green card, then it'll be a minimum of 2 minutes. If it's a yellow card, it's going to be 5 minutes. Now, that could be a huge blow. Nicely played back into the D. There's a lot of clashing and clattering going around. he is. Silas has got himself a green card, so he will be off for a couple of minutes just to calm himself down. Singapore, a chance to scoop it home. Well, it looked as though the chance had gone. Dinesh skewed it up in the air. However, again, the right place at the right time. How many times have we seen that today? Just to bundle it home and make absolutely no mistake, and Singapore take a one-goal lead. Good reactions. Ahmad Johari it was that was in the right place at the right time. The man is earning his 33rd cap tonight. Only 20 years old, makes absolutely no mistake. So, a good start for Singapore. Very much on the front foot. That one scooped forwards from Asali. Just a little bit too heavy though. Singapore just trying to slow it down slightly. Firdaus nicely played down the line. Nice angles made, however. Good solid defending from the Indonesians. So 10 minutes of race by here. Singapore looking comfortable, it has to be said. They are doing the pushing, and once again, they're on the front foot. It's a lovely little give and go. Great little angle, reverse strike coming in. Flashes just wide. Well, the man who was off the field of play with a green card, he's back on and not a million miles away. Almost getting something on that. That you have to say has to go down as a chance. Indonesia's turn this time to try and cause a problem. Nice stick work in the D. Was that a trip? Well, going to ground on that occasion. Menaldi looked as though he was upended. Play continues though. lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of activity going on down there. You see the commitment from all the players, exactly what it means to them. That was a little bit reckless and a little bit dangerous, diving and lunging in like that. I'm surprised there wasn't a little bit more of a ticking off on that occasion. However, the officials deemed that not necessary. Singapore goes straight up the other end, and they do have red shirts in there. Nice ball fired down towards Silas. Always lively, does ever so well to try and cut it back. Singapore at the end of the first quarter, either side with the lead, and right at the death. It looks as though it is going to be a penalty corner. So the first penalty corner of the match goes right on the buzzer. So, can they make it count? That's the question. Indonesia just setting themselves. Enough bodies in and around there for Singapore. That's why everybody's been pushed forwards. Let's see what the push is like from Asali. Oh, there's another error and a mistake going too early. Well, that looked as though it was Ilham. That means there'll be one less on the line for Indonesia, so an even better opportunity here now for Singapore to double their advantage. It's a good stop. Scoot forwards. And the board was hit. The keeper in vain, did he? Tried to get down, but couldn't. But in the end, it's Singapore that doubled that advantage right on the stroke of half-time. And it's the skipper, Firdaus, that makes sure that they do take a 2-0 lead into the end of the first period. At the end of the first 15 minutes in quarter one, it's Singapore 2, Indonesia 0. Very warm welcome back to the Sengkang Sports Complex. An interesting first 15 minutes that we've witnessed there. Singapore lead by 2-0, courtesy of Ahmed Johari and Firdaus, the skipper. Making absolutely no mistake there from that penalty corner. Indonesia, well, they didn't exactly roll over. They gave a good account to themselves, had a couple of forays into the opponent's box, but just couldn't get anything going that they really would have liked to have done. So because of that, it means that things are very, very tight here. Singapore will want to try and bash home the slight advantage that they have now going into this next period before half-time, and seeing if they can extend that lead. Indonesia, well, they just need to consolidate themselves slightly. Not a million miles away from this one, but they have to get it right. They have to start now as well. Here's the whistle. So it is Singapore that get us underway. Can they force home the advantage that they have? Indonesia happy to just stroke it around and keep it at the back. Possession very much order of the day. However, that's well won back by Singapore. All chipped in, but chipped up, so a little bit dangerous there. Hence why the hit's been given. So Singapore looking to try and double the advantage. Just trying to get themselves back into the D. Themselves the best opportunity to be able to do so. It looked as though it broke there for Singapore. Good mopping up, good defending in the end from the Indonesians. Whistle goes. Singapore just a little bit too overzealous to try and get themselves on the ball. Here they come again, though. The red shirts looking to bomb forwards, and they are. Solid defending in the end. Oh, anywhere will do. Just getting it out of the danger zone there from Indonesia. A little scoop down the line, not the best there. Jong just getting that one wrong. So the big scoop forwards easily cut out in the end by Fedos. Into the D, the big strike, a good save as well. However, the follow-up wasn't bad either, but yet again, Diddy in goal, pulling off the heroics. Singapore still on the front foot. Another long, so they are starting to apply pressure, and more pressure as well. Not the best flick down the line on that occasion from Fedos. I think he knows it. You could tell from his expression that he knows he should have done better. Painful. The official just stopping the clock just to hope that he can get his breath back. Doesn't look as though there's too many issues or problems though, so play will be allowed to move on. Singapore look to play their way out. Nice little touch on there. Singapore just trying to drive that one into the D. Just couldn't find its intended target though. That's well read from Ideal. However, good defending from Mios Saraso. It is again. Saraso doing well. Well read and well intercepted. Indonesia throwing themselves on the line. And the counter-attack's on. Jong looked like he was upended there. Play allowed to continue. Well, there's a little bit of a coming together off the ball there. Both players could find themselves in a spot of bother here.
Eyes open.
Both a green card just to calm themselves down. Very sporting as well to see. Safri from Indonesia, Niraj from Singapore, just their arms around each other. They know that it was heat of the moment stuff, so they'll both just sit down for 2 minutes, cool themselves down, then they'll be back into action.
Okay, yeah.
There it is. It's goal number 3. It is a very, very well taken strike as well. And it looks like a wonderful strike from Silas. Is it? There's the ball. It's into the box. He's all on his own. Bang. There you go. No mistakes. It is Silas that makes it 3. So well played, it has to be said. Nice ball rolled forwards as well from Jeremiah. Almost to perfection. Silas still had a little bit of work to do though. Didn't he do well just to twist and turn and just drive it straight into the roof of the net. Keeper absolutely no chance on that occasion. Singapore not happy. They want more. That's what they're coming for. And going in search of more. Indonesia, though, looking to try and batten down the hatches. Chance there again. Well, Singapore really are taking the game to Indonesia in this second quarter, electing not to back down at all and really having a go. See what they were trying there, the Indonesians. Didn't really work for them. Didn't really work for Singapore either, it has to be said. Both teams willing to really throw themselves into this. Oh, it's a brilliant challenge. It did look as though Hariraj was going to get away. See how committed both sides are as we enter the final minute. Lovely bit of stick work there. Johari doing well. There is the horn that brings the end of the half and the second quarter. So Singapore with a fantastic strike from Silas, extending their lead from 2 to 3. And on the balance of play and the chances created and the opportunities created, you would say deserved. So at half-time here from the Sengkang Sports Complex, it's Singapore 3, Indonesia 0.
not bad, this game. This game not bad. Fight lah. See, just now the one also got fight. Just now the Singapore. Yeah. Because that the other one too strong. Last time Singapore I think the one time very strong. Huh? Last time the one time very strong. This year is like, you know, last time who play the best? Indian right? Now also, India also very strong.
Very warm welcome back to the Sengkang complex, where of course the hockey is taking precedence here in Singapore. Singapore taking on Indonesia, and it's Singapore that lead by 3-0 in the men's division. This the final game of the day, but we'll have plenty more action coming tomorrow, as in the men's division anyway, when Hong Kong take on Chinese Taipei. Singapore will take on Myanmar. That game being played tomorrow along with Indonesia and Thailand. That is the men's division. As for the ladies, well, they'll be playing as well. We already saw some fantastic games earlier in the women's competition. Thailand against Hong Kong, 4-0. Thailand won. Malaysia decimated Indonesia 18-0. 3-0. Kazakhstan beat Singapore. Tomorrow, Malaysia take on Hong Kong. Indonesia take on Kazakhstan. And Thailand will take on Singapore. That promises to be an intriguing game. You can be sure about that. As it is, it's all about the men. We're here now, and it is Indonesia that will get us underway at the start of the third period, trailing by 3-0. Straight away, Singapore looking to press high up the field of play. Forwards all to no avail on that occasion. This is a Singapore side that's looked comfortable, I think it's fair to say. Indonesia not causing too many issues or problems for the host nation. However, it can change very, very quickly in hockey. Singapore just trying to create half a yard inside that D. Again, Singapore applying the pressure and winning themselves the first penalty corner of the third period. They did score in the first period from a penalty corner. Can they do the same again? That's the big question. It has performed well in goal today. Stunning saves here and there, it's fair to be said. Well, that's how easy and how quickly it is, though. It's another one from Singapore. There was no messing around there. There's the push. There's the strike right into the bottom corner. Dide no chance whatsoever. Fidos, I think, again from the penalty corner, being credited with the goal. So that goal for Singapore really is enhancing their credentials in this competition. Adil, nicely down the line. He's playing a nice move from Singapore. Possession being kept. Looked like a little bit of a trip, but play allowed to continue. Adil picking it up in the centre, firing one forwards. Well picked up. As though the ball had judged to have just gone over the line, so it'll be a hit for Indonesia. Indonesia looking to come forwards now. Good closing of the space there from Singapore. Big pass forwards, well brought down and well controlled. And the chop away there means that the hit will go in favour of Indonesia. Conceding possession. A little bit of time and space for Singapore to move into. Nicely into the D, however. Back there defending was Tommy Abrianto. Play, good closing down once again from Singapore. Denying time and space. groans from the crowd. No, there was half a chance there. Good play. And well won. Silas doing ever so well there to draw the penalty corner. Well, that's the experience that he has, Silas. Winning his 48th cap tonight. The most experienced player on the pitch for Singapore. Two penalty corners so far, 2 goals. Can they make it a hat-trick? Will it be Firdaus to strike? It's a good block on that occasion. Ahmad Usman came a long, long way and put the block on that occasion. Singapore managing to retain possession with the long this time. Ball bouncing and bobbling around as well. Almost getting another chance. Good closing down, good pressure as well. Jeremiah mopping things up and Jong just keeping it as well. Nice and simple. Indonesia just unable to get out at the moment. It's testament to the way that Singapore are keeping the pressure on. Jeremiah. Good effort. Main questions being asked of this Indonesian defence. And again, more pressure comes from the Singaporean team. Another penalty corner. Can they make this one count as well? Good stop. Good strike. A good save. Ball still bouncing and bobbling around. This time, though, it will go in favour of Indonesia. You hear the frustration there. A big scream. Important little stick in there. Just as it looked as though Singapore were going to get away. They're still on the offensive though. Reverse strike, no, they're saying it was the stick, so no hit or penalty corner awarded there. Giving away possession again, Singapore. Once again, Dede right up to task. Well, he hasn't had a bad game at all, has he? Again, you've got to be brave. Norman Teo, brave going into the challenge there. Bit of time and space now for Ilham. He loses out. Well, they've got themselves into some good positions, Indonesia, but they have been a little bit sloppy, it's fair to say, when they've got into certain areas. Singapore once again crank it up though. Make sure that the pressure is applied and is there. Penalty corner yet again, their fourth one of this third period as we enter the final minute. Can they make it count? That's the question. Again, another good block. However, penalty corner once more. Slight problem there with one of the laces, is it? Or just a slight injury? So, finally the penalty corner's ready. Oh, well played. Nice variation. Good save again, not once but twice. Oh dear. could have been very, very nasty. And there is the horn that signals the end of the third quarter. So just to enhance their credentials and just to enhance the scoreline, Firdos with a penalty corner means that at the end of the third period, it is Singapore 4, Indonesia 0. Welcome back to the final quarter of the day here at the Sengkang Hockey Complex. Singapore leading by 4-0 over Indonesia. Comfortable, I think it's fair to say, is a word that we can use to describe the performance so far. However, you never know. It doesn't take long to score a goal or get yourself back into a game on the hockey pitch. Anything could happen. So I'm sure Singapore will want to see this one through as professionally as they can to ensure that they do get maximum points. Not long to go. Can they see this one over the line? Straight away they go on the offensive. Straight away they win a penalty corner. So that's all the intent that you need to know. Singapore looking to see this one out without conceding as well.
Very good.
Good push, different angle. Changed, ideal this time with the strike and the little chop back going just wide. So again, a slight variation to what we saw earlier. Danger not clear though. Indonesia can't get themselves out of the position they're in. Another penalty corner. Good work on that occasion from Norman Teo. Get into the byline, just looking to run all the way across and cause a few more issues. That's exactly what happened. Another variation, ideal. Scoops it forwards. Another penalty corner, more pressure growing. Oh, a bit of a mistake on that occasion, though. That one not really coming off for Singapore. Just catching the foot there of Denny Hardian. A little flick forwards, again another good save on the line, another penalty corner. Well, the pressure is really there. Can they make it count? This time they do. So it's a hat-trick of penalty corners from Firdaus. Back to the basics after trying to mix and match up. No mistakes on that occasion. Good push, good stop, good finish. And with just a fraction over 12 minutes to go, you do think that that is going to be it for the game. Maybe asking far too much for the Indonesians to come back now. Nothing away from the performance from Singapore, though. They came here with the intent to ensure that they did well in this competition. That's exactly what they've done. It was exactly what they wanted as well. Indonesia with an unusual foray into the opponent's box. They will not want to concede, though, that's for sure. They'll have to keep their concentration levels. Have to make sure that everything's right, everything's spot on. That's what they'll be looking to do. A little bit further forwards with the hits. Penalty corner. Looked like a green card as well, was it? It was a card shown there. Oh, well, there's a bit of a coming together. Not sure the card has been shown, but it's the first penalty corner of the match for Indonesia. So an opportunity and a chance for them to salvage a little bit of something. The big question is, can they? Good stop. It's a nice strike, but a good block, but illegally, said the officials. Second penalty corner. Advantage played in favour of Singapore there. So time ticking by. Indonesia really with their backs to the wall. Singapore looking for a sixth. Not forthcoming on that occasion. Another penalty corner is, though. Penalty corner number 6 of this fourth period. Only just over halfway through. So can they strike again? Good stop. And a little follow-up and again, fantastic keeping, but stabbed home in the end by the smallest player on the park. Dinesh Raj makes absolutely no mistake yet again. So a pretty solid first game by Singapore. It'll be exactly what the coach will have wanted. Giving a good account of themselves. That's exactly what they've done. Another chance, a little stumble there, which is just what stopped the flow. Long awarded on that occasion. Another penalty corner. More pressure mounting. Indonesia unable to cope with the onslaught from Singapore. And a simple tap in at the far post just compels the agony for Indonesia. High fives all round. And again, it's well worked. Down to the baseline. Good stick work. And a nice little pullback in the right place at the right time. Dinesh Raj again. Makes it 7. I'm sure he's going to be extremely happy with his performance today. Singapore win another hit. coming to a climax. And a very good outing for Singapore, as we mentioned. Looks solid all the way through. Good platform to build as well. I'm sure they'll all be happy with the performance and the way that it's all gone. And the whistle goes and Singapore getting on with things quickly. Again, the drones everywhere tell you exactly what's going on. So that's again. Bit of an air shot there. Nosey should have made contact. Along goes in favour of Singapore. Still going in search of more. Singapore would just love to cap this off with one more goal. The question is, can they? Idol just couldn't get on the end of it. Silas goes to fire it in. There is the horn. So comfortable, comprehensive are words that Singapore will take from today's game. It was a good outing. They were strong, they were solid. Indonesia with plenty of work to do before the Asian Games take place in Jakarta and Palembang. But from the Sengkang complex, it's been a fantastic day. We've seen some fantastic hockey. And there's plenty more to come in the next week. Don't forget to join us for the Hockey Series Open in Singapore as we leave you with the pictures of Singapore victorious in the men's division, defeating Indonesia by 7 goals to 0. Thank you and good night.